guys, let me take you back to a time when I absolutely was ready to throw in the towel and just give up on the cards and the hand I had been dealt. Maybe you felt that way. I don't have all the answers. What I do know is that we really are stronger together. And that's a little more than a Hallmark card here at the Warrior Nation. Please let us know in the comments where you're chiming in from. It was 15 years ago. I was standing in my kitchen and I had just found out my dad had terminal cancer. He was the healthiest grandparent we knew. And I just melted like one of those old-timey cartoon characters. And I wailed a primal wail I have never heard in my life. The next week, we got the confirmation that my son was diagnosed autism spectrum disorder level 3 nonverbal. Not my best season. Hey guys, I'm Bren Harris, the Warrior Mom. Let me know. We're streaming on multiple platforms. Let me know if you can see us on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. And Tickety Talk. I am so glad you are here. Again, I don't have all the answers, but for those of you who don't know me, I'm Bren Harris, the Warrior Mom. Not a title I would have ever chosen. And I founded the Warrior Nation when my son was medically injured at 22 months of age. He was just a baby. And we spent years trying to figure out what was going on. And I just about lost my mind in that season. Now you're seeing 15 years of hard-earned blood, sweat, and tears. Now, we have walked straight through hell in the last 15 years. Now we take water back to those still in the fire. I promise you, you are going to make it. It doesn't have to feel like it. You neither need to be a mom nor feel like a warrior. Maybe this is a grandchild, or maybe you're a caregiver of a loved one with dementia and it's the long goodbye. And you feel like, why would anyone be cursed with something like this? Now, I am a firm believer that when we lock arms and we kick these situations in the teeth, we really are stronger. And these are hard fought lessons. Please let us know if you're just joining us in the chat where you're chiming in from. Oh, we have Miss Amanda live from Norman, Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner. Miranda Anderson from Midwest City. And Tennille, the icon lupus warrior in Georgia. I am so glad you guys are here. It is summer. Everything is crazy busy. I get that. Thank you. I know your time is valuable. And I would not be here if I did not have an amazing 1% circle. What do I mean by that? My child diagnosed is a teen in a state ranked dead last in education. And he is his official diagnosis. We do not have a disease here, people. We have a diagnosis, which allows him to qualify for dozens of therapies. And that includes speech, OT, ABA, which is autism therapy. And I've been on my face praying for the right person. And today we met them. And I just want to say thanks for all the good thoughts and prayers. Tonight we're talking about know your identity. Identity kind of gets a bad rap, especially in today's culture. Hey, Tony from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Glad you are here. Good to see you, brother. And I am so happy. Hey, Carlos, good to see you. And Angela and Tiffany. I am so glad you guys are here. Now, again, I don't have all the answers. What I do know is that we really next right step. Now, what do I mean by that? Tonight, we're talking about know your identity. Identity kind of gets equated to a lot of different things these days. And I'm going to take you in the Wayback Machine just so I can establish some street cred. I am so glad you're here. And please, if you're just joining us, let us know in the comments where you're chiming in from. This is about 18 years ago. I cannot believe I'm even saying that sentence. Oh, you guys, please pray for this mama of a teen who's turning 18. And we had PCS'd from Japan, where my son was born, to live with an older relative while we house hunted. We were just trying to save some money and just thought, oh, well, we'll be caregivers for him and for the older relative. And this kitchen has not been updated since the 70s. So bear with me. This is baby Zach. You'll see why that's important in just a moment. At the kitchen table in this 1970s kitchen with my MacBook and my English pottery cup of coffee there, and women and moms were being disrespected online, and something rose up in me, you guys. And I mean, it activated. That's our word for the summer, by the way. Take the little Spock hands and turn it this way, and then your dominant hand, like you're starting a car. Activate. Tonight, we're going to activate our identity rooted in confidence. Oh, that's worth repeating. Hear me, warriors. We're going to activate our identity rooted in confidence. Now, that's how my son learns new words. He is diagnosed level 3 autism spectrum disorder. Hey, guys, great to see you. We have Harlem, New York in the house. Diagnosis, just facts. Absolutely. We have South Carolina and Georgia in the house and Florida. Great to see you guys. I am really glad you're here. Please let us know in the comments where you're chiming in from. And so we did not have anything green to wear on St. Patrick's Day. And Miss Miranda on here can tell you this is a true story. So St. Patrick's Day rolls around and it happens to fall on spring break. The weather's terrible. And I'm like, we have a 2 hours of sunshine. So we grabbed some Christmas ribbon, green metallic, and mixed it with gold. And we tied those around our wrist. And then just on a whim, I tapped mine to my son's wrist and I said, Wonder Twin Powers, activate. And he goes, activate adventure. Now, this is a kid that the experts said would never speak. And so that's our word for the summer. I'm going to see if I can find a picture of this beautiful bracelet action. I mean, here you go. There you go. St. Patrick's Day in the POC. And we had green and gold. Now we just wear gold. And we are every day before we leave the house since March 17th. It is now June. We must have our Wonder Twin ribbons on our wrist. And I just think it is so adorable. And he's just like, activate. And that means he wants to get out of the house. Now, you guys, I office out of my home. I have a beautiful office. I have a wonderful space. I have painted the wood floors my color. I have stenciled a mandala in the floor because I wanted this space to reflect who I am. And life doesn't have to be perfect to be wonderful. Now, at 17, I probably wanted to get out of the house all the time too. So I am encouraging you, find something that activates your creativity, that activates your sense of adventure, that activates you to step out of that comfort zone, because growth never happens in our comfort zone. Hear me, warriors. Growth never happens in our comfort zone. Okay, great to see you guys. I'm so glad you're here. Yes, absolutely. Miranda's saying true story in the comments. Yes, she was here. She was in the house and she got one too on St. Patrick's Day. And I just think it's so fun to keep that sense of adventure. And I spent about 5 years in corporate America. Oh my goodness. It felt like 50. It was not my calling. In these putty colored cubicles, don't outdo your coworkers or you'll be targeted. I mean, 5 years felt like 50. It was awful. And I promised my parents when I graduated from school that I would go ahead and spend 5 years in corporate America so that I could learn the ropes. What I learned is it's garbage. It's a bunch of insecure people and powerless people in powerful positions that want to make your life miserable if you're a rock star. So hear me, warriors. If you're thinking about taking the leap, talk to me. Because as a special needs mom, here's a picture of my son now. He towers over me, you guys. He's 6'1". He leaned down because I was sitting down. And this is one of our medical trips that we take out of state. And there's no way between therapies, school, battling insurance. Oh my goodness. There's no way I could have a corporate job, nor would I want it. But if you work full-time W-2, there's no way you can service your child to the level you're called to service them. And that means being available for therapies, being available for medical appointments, being available to travel out of state and get a heavy metal detox, because my son has a genetic marker. we call it the mother trucker gene. It's MTHFR. And 51% of the family, the population has one marker. He has three. And lucky guy got it all from both parents. So his body isn't able to detox heavy metals, which is in all the immunizations. And it's not one size fits all. And there's no way to break them up. They're combinations and it overwhelms our body. Now, I'm not telling you not to vaccinate. I'm telling you, let's grab a home test, do a simple cheek swab, and see if your child has multiple markers of this mother trucker gene so that you can make informed decisions. I love what James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits, his bazillion-dollar bestseller. 1% better every single day. When we know more, we can do more. Theory to application, knowledge applied is wisdom. Now, you guys, I cannot believe I'm talking about all of this because I was a total workaholic. I was a touring musician, hit the Best Buy Find 'em First list way back in the day. And what I love is that now I get to use music for therapy. My son cannot say words, so he cannot. He has a speech delay because of the brain impairment from heavy metals. Anything over 10 is toxic. When we tested 5 years ago, he was 117. Get those cheek swabs, get those tests so that you can know a starting point. We all have these smartphones. When we're plugging in the GPS, we say use my current location because we need to know where we're starting to get to where we're going. And that's why it's important to do these things. And no, you do not have to have it for school. So just FYI, we talk more about this in my masterclass. I'm going to have a big announcement at the end. So hang tight. Hey guys, great to see you. Yeah. Growth never happens in our comfort zone. Oh yeah. I am so excited that you guys are here. Oh, Rosie from Florida, girl, I love your spirit. God bless you. Boy, that is true. Yeah, I know. And this is not something I'm like, oh, let's get hyped up to talk about, something new. No, this is just our daily life. Okay. So I'm gonna respect your time. We're gonna keep this moving. Thank you guys for being here. Really appreciate it. Now, in the last 6 months, I've launched 2 bestsellers, not 1, but 2 because of you. Not because of me. Thank you, warriors, for making that happen. This is the best-selling author picture that you guys voted on. I am so blessed by that. And no, she was not sweating at the pool. She had a team to coif her up. Okay, so here's the first book, A Major and the Musician, A Warrior Mom Mystery. Now, these two people are married. They are madly in love. They are perfectly matched. I mean, they support each other. The ebb and flow of the character dialogue is something I'm like, wait, I wrote that. And I didn't know that these would be bestsellers, but our words have power. And when I talk about knowing our identity rooted in confidence, we speak the life we want. This is not name it, claim it. This is biblical fact. And I want you to understand the next time something pops out of your mouth, is that the life you want? Now, I'll tell on myself here. My son loves to go for drives. And we are always listening to something positive. You can see he is the screensaver on my phone. And we're always listening to sermons or Jim Rohn or something, Tony Robbins, whatever, that helps us get to that next level. If I don't put the phone on the little dash holder in my little 12-year-old X3, he says, positive, and he taps the dash. And he requests these things. And I love that because I didn't have this kind of influence in my life at 17. I was, rebelling like crazy. So I just want to, whatever that obstacle is in your life, think of that one thing. I know you just thought of it, warrior. Think of that one thing in your life. You're like, I need this circumstance to change. What if that circumstance is the fire, is the refining fire, just like gold? Gold doesn't become gold that we invest all this money in without being refined. A diamond, same thing. It's just an ugly lump of coal. When it's under pressure, it becomes that beautiful stone. This is really important because I know there's someone on here that is called for such a time as this, and things are not going the way you planned. How do we hold our identity, keep it rooted in confidence when things unravel? Oh, I hear you. hang with me here. Hey guys, great to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah, positivity is the key. Oh, thank you. And I just really appreciate you guys being here. Now I'm going to keep this moving. This is the other book, the #1 bestseller. That's the Warrior Mom Journal. Guys, I did not set out to go, oh, I'm going to be the Warrior Mom trademark. I'm going to write 2 bestsellers. I'm going to have, a tribe of people in half a dozen countries. No, I just started sharing my life. And if I can do this, anybody can. And I know that I know that I know I am not the only one going through the journey that I'm going through. I'm not the only one that goes, wait, this isn't the life I signed up for. Are you kidding me? How do I back up, shut up, pray up, and say, okay, what is this trying to teach me? That reads easy, lives hard. Hear me, warriors. Reads easy, lives hard. You are not alone. Okay, great to see you guys. Oh, hey, we have Washington State in the house. Oh, good to see you guys in Las Vegas. I am so glad you're here. And it means a lot that you guys are here because I know that you're busy and I know that this is summer and I know that you have no time. And thank you for taking that time to invest in these, the length of a TED Talk here. Oh, we have another Florida in the house. Great to see you. D Walker Inspires. I'm so glad you're here. And we don't succeed in a vacuum. A few years ago, I made the decision to just cut out all extras in my life and invest time, money, and effort in a 1% mastermind. And that's what you're seeing the fruit of tonight. And we are going to do that with the Warrior Nation. And I want you to please save the date, June 23rd. I'll tell you more about that at the end. Hey guys, great to see you. Oh yeah. Oh, thank you. If you are live, please put an L in the comments. If you are on the replay, put an R. And also, if you're just joining us, let us know where you're logging in from. Again, I don't have all the answers. What I do know is the last 15 years, we've walked straight out of hell and walk out of there like we own the place and take water back to those still in the fire. You are called for such a time as this. Hear me, warriors. You are called for such a time as this. And I'm reading a little bit from the Warrior Mom Journal tonight. And this is the book right here. You can see pretty, pretty, pretty. And you neither need to feel like a warrior nor be a mom to benefit from this. And one of my favorite things to talk about is resilience. Now, I wish that I had no scars on my body. I do. And they tell me stories. They tell me how resilient I am. They tell me how I just don't give up. I mean, years ago, someone said, you have the most stick-to-itiveness I've ever seen. I've never heard that word since. And I want you to know you can too. Because of your situation, you're becoming stronger. You're building character. Your identity is rooted in that confidence. And hear my heart. Confidence is quiet. Insecurity is loud. Oh, hear me, warriors. Confidence is quiet. I see it as, or confidence is quiet. Insecurity is loud. I know. Every one of us have walked into a setting, whether it's a family reunion, a holiday dinner, a work meeting, anything. And the loudest person in the room is probably the most insecure. Oh, that'll preach. The loudest person in the room is probably the most insecure. Now, I entered the military realm at the big girl table. I had no clue what I was doing. And I wouldn't recommend that. But what I did learn is how to read people really quickly. And I became the resident music teacher for all their children. And that here at the Warrior Nation, we talk about connection, community. Imagine a triangle just like this. Okay. And on one side, you have connection, community, and then contribution. We are called to help people that we are called to help. And if we are paralyzed by fear and we are insecure and we are not following that still small voice or that smack upside the head, sometimes spiritually, I don't listen to the quiet voice. I need, the give smack right up in the head. And it's like, okay. And I have taught, my mentor has told me to do what I'm doing right now for years. I finally did it. Now we're on episode 175 because it's hard to share, to unzip our heart and throw our heart over the bar one more time and just say, hey, I think someone needs to hear my story. Someone needs to hear this. I don't know if it's going to land or if it's going to just get scrolled past. I want you to know you are called for such a time as this. And I don't say that lightly. Hey, guys. Oh, that is so big. Confidence is quiet. Insecure. Thank you, Rosie from Florida. Angela from Georgia. Good to see you, Mama Angela. And the key that I want you to hear, you have your own platform. Oh, hear me, warriors. You have your own platform. You're called to think of that one thing you thought you would never get through: a breakup, a financial disaster, an injury, a car accident, whatever. And look at you now. You're stronger than ever. In the rear view, it's just a speed bump, but when you're going through it, it feels like Mount Everest. And you are called to share that story with others so that they have hope. Okay, I'm going to read real quick from the Warrior Mom Journal, and then I'll bring it in for a landing here. And I just know that you have a purpose and a calling, and we are called to walk in that purpose and champion our calling every single hour of every single day. And I've mentioned this before. What if someone came to your house, you said you had all these big goals and all these things you envisioned for your success, and they were a documentary film crew and they were living in your house 24 hours a day? Would your hourly habits, oh, hear me, warriors, would your hourly habits support those dreams and goals and big visions you have? Okay, sit with that. I put a little Japanese in here because we lived in Okinawa for years. That's the southern tip of Japan, over 1,000 miles south of Tokyo. It's kind of like a miniature Hawaii. A lot of people from mainland Japan, hoity-toits, would come there and get married. There's tons of, seaside, cliffside, ocean view, East China Sea, wedding chapels. I mean, the most beautiful place I have ever seen in my life. And this summer weather here in Oklahoma is reminding me a little bit about that. You got a little hot and a lot of humid. Okay, so in Japan, Okinawans are kind of like Texans. They don't want to be called Japanese. They're Okinawans. Okay, now it's kind of like New York and Texas right now in the NBA Finals. Yeah, two different worlds. Okay. And so the phrase for quiet confidence, and I want you to follow me, and I will put the stuff in the chat. Heian Jashin, quiet confidence. And I love the Okinawan culture. Guys, it was like living in Mayberry. There was zero crime, unless it was the enlisting, the troops. Yeah. The Americans. And confidence is quiet, insecurity is loud. And again, I'm reading from my #1 bestseller, The Warrior Mom Journal. Okay, think about this. How often have we as moms found ourselves in a group where there's always at least one person who exudes a kind of false bravado? You know the type: arrogant, overly assertive, and generally obnoxious. This is often a mask for deep-seated insecurity. Heian, and that's spelled, I'm going to use a little ASL here. H-E. Now this hand is injured, so it doesn't bend all the way. H-E-I-O-N. Heian translates to peaceful or calm mind. And then Jishin. J-I-S-H-I-N. Heian Jishin. Heian, peaceful or calm mind. Jashin means self-confidence or trusting in oneself. That's where identity rooted in confidence stems from. Okay, so the very first thing in this reads easy, lives hard. Hear me, warriors. Respond, resist reacting. I know in our culture of keyboard warriors and sassy pants, that's really counterculture. That's counterintuitive. Take a deep breath. And I want you to hear my voice. Yeah, you could be right. I'm willing to consider that. Walk on. You will never change someone's mind. You won't. Your example might attract them to your school of thought, but anyone convinced of their will is of the same opinion still. Okay, number 2, set healthy boundaries. And you guys, if you've been around me for more than 10 minutes, you know that I love boundaries. Okay, so take your pinkies like this, and you're going to just push. So today, my son finally gets to meet the most amazing autism expert on the planet. We have been hoping and praying to get to work with this woman. And he was just a little excited, and he kept getting, that personal space. We were talking in the kitchen, she and I, and my son's over here on the other, he's like the point of the triangle, and he just kept getting closer into our space. And I said, "Excuse me, sir, we're almost done." And he knew exactly what that meant. That meant boundaries, where I end and you begin, or where you begin and I end. And I did not have to say a word. I just said, "Excuse me, sir." Boundaries, where I end and you begin. And that, hear me, warriors, applies to family, friends, and coworkers across the board. But they're family. No, just because they're blood doesn't mean they get to, pee on your purpose. All right. Put that in the comments. Okay. Then we have trust your intuition. A lot of people call this discernment. Don't second guess. We're not here to ask people's opinion. Your calling is between you and higher power. Hear me, warriors. Your calling is between you and higher power. And that is I just wish, I see so many, especially women, wanting approval from their friends group or their family or their parents, or even though they're grown women. I don't know where that came from. I think it's cultural. And I've had to really set some hard boundaries that are not pleasant, but I'm called, and there's no way I'm getting to the end of my life and not honoring that call. Okay. And then trust your intuition. When you're getting still, you're having that carved out habit stacking time that you set in the morning, you will be able to hear that still small voice, that discernment, like, yeah, that you could be right. I'm willing to think about that and walk away. Just smile and nod. Smile and nod. Yeah, it reminds me of the pageant days. Smile and nod. Yes, And you can do this. You can do this. Trust me. I want you to hear this warrior mom voice in your head the next time someone tries to gaslight you or get you to react instead of respond. You could be right. I'm willing to consider that. Walk away. End of discussion. Okay? No arguing. All right? Seek wise counsel. That reads easy, Liz Hart. And exercise discernment with anyone you are seeking that wise counsel. Do they have the life you want? Are they making the level of income you want? Do they have the number of clients you desire? Do they have a personal life that's of integrity? They could be as successful in front of thousands of people, but if their personal life sucks, I don't want to work with them. I want the double, triple win. I can tell you, I have people on here, you can ask them, my mission, I show up exactly like this every day. I show up exactly when my son and I go on our little Wonder Twin adventures in the afternoon. I look like I'm going to the office. I take my laptop. I'm working. He's working his schoolwork, even if it's summer. Parents of special needs children, schedule and consistency is critical. Oh, hear me, warriors. Schedule and consistency is key. No exception. And I love these Montessori cursive books because no school curriculum is teaching cursive. Why? Because it develops a part of the brain that helps children think for themselves. They want sheep. It's a government-funded school. They want sheeple. They don't want people. Hey guys, great to see you. Yes, your calling is between you and higher power. Thanks, Tony from Washington, D.C. Love the boundaries of sign language. Yes, he does know sign. Thank you, Miss Amanda from Oklahoma. Smile and nod. Miss Tennille, her call sign is smiles in our mastermind. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. Yes, and so I want you to understand, we're celebrating the quick wins. Every time you want to snap someone's neck, you respond, you smile and nod and say, you could be right. I'm willing to consider that. You get to celebrate that win. Hear me, warriors. We are celebrating every quick win you have in the next 48 hours. Every quick win. Most recent studies show we're 30% more productive when we work first, then reward. Small reward. We're not talking about the big European vacation. We're not talking about, the $100,000 sports car. We're talking about work for 25 minutes, reward. Work for 25 minutes, reward. And we do that day in, day out. And because I feel this in my soul, you are called to help those come out of that story, come out of that purgatory, come out of that hard crisis with a victory. Hey guys, great to see you. Yes, I've got 3 platforms here. Yeah, thank you guys. I'm so proud of you, and you are so right. We really are stronger together. And our sheeple, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tony from Washington, D.C. I love that. Says golden tips, hinges, opening heavy and wide doors. That is so true. Now I'm going to brag on my son for just a sec. I have been modeling and teaching things for years. I don't have a clue if he's listening. Twice in the last week. And Tony, your comment made me think of this. There's a Harry Potter type bookstore that's been here for years. It's the largest independent bookstore in our state. And it has like this 20-foot door that feels like a castle door, and you open it and it creaks like that. You guys know what I'm talking about. Yeah. But it feels like such an anticipation of mystery because you walk in and it has 3 or 4 stories of books, and they have ladders just like the Harry Potter library back in the day. Now I haven't watched the recent ones. I'm talking about the kid ones. And I love that you just feel like you're transported back in time. And when we are being called to walk in purpose and champion our calling, it is not comfortable. That's your first clue. And when we are determined and being intentional and habit stacking, getting 1% better every day, even though it's summer vacation, that is not going to be comfortable. And the enemy wants to derail our focus. When we decide to get locked in and walk in with intention and be focused, all hell's going to break loose. That's okay. Just say, yay, Bren was right. Okay. And it's okay because we're going to write the vision. We're going to make it plain, and we're going to write it so well that a runner can read it on the run. And I'm not saying this is not the journal where you go, oh, I wore the pink sweater and the gray slacks and it was 75 and balmy. No, I want you to think of that one single thing you always said you would do all your life, or you thought you would do all your life. And then life started lifing. And influences started influencing. We get married, we have a job, we have a mortgage. We have so many things vying for our time that we're spending hours and hours and hours making other people's dreams come true, not ours. And that's what identity rooted in confidence. And we help you uncover this. You do not need to discover it on your own. And that's what the masterclass is about. Okay, June 23rd. Hey, T, do you mind putting that in the comments? June 23rd. And we're going to, same time as the podcast, and I will have the link available. Drop a warrior in the comments when you watch a replay. We want to make sure that you are in that inner circle, because we can say a lot of things in that inner circle we are not allowed to say on social media right here. And oh, hey guys, good to see you. Yes, we have North and South Dakota. Wow, cool. I am so glad you guys are here, and it means a lot. You are called for such a time as this, whether you feel like it or not. And insecurity is loud, confidence is quiet. I'm Bren Harris, the Warrior Mom with the Warrior Nation, your source for truth, transparency, and trust. Warriors, unite.